everyone, it's SimLicy here. So today I'm back with a new video, and this time it's another collaboration, and this time it's with the Colourful Sims, and I'm so excited about it because it's a 50-50 collab or challenge. Is it a challenge? Is it 50-50 challenge or 50-50 collab? I'm not really sure if that's the correct title for it, but I've seen other people do it on YouTube before, but not very often. It's kind of a collab that only gets done every once in a while, so it's something that I've been interested in for a long time. And when me and the Colourful Sims decided that we would like to do a collab together, this is what we chose. We both have been interested in it and thought it would be fun to do. So basically what this collab is the first person divides the lot up equally and builds the first half of the build, whatever it is, community lot, residential, whatever it may be. And then the second person downloads their first half from the gallery and then tries to model the second half of the build off of the person's first half of the build. Might be a little bit confusing because I suck at explaining things, but so I tried to model the second half of the build off of what she did. So I had so much fun exploring and seeing what she had done and thinking of what I would like to do. Is a really cool thing. So I would highly recommend this if you are planning to do a collab with somebody. It's a pretty cool thing to do. And Dana has the coolest channel. She's one of my favorite YouTubers. I've been watching her channel since about Halloween time, and I just love it. She does beautiful builds, but she also does these cool fairy tale stories for let's plays, and they're really cool. She's a really good storyteller, so I would highly recommend her channel. So definitely check the links in the description. I will link her channel directly, as well as her first half of the build, so you can watch her first half as well as check out her other content, because I do really like her channel, and so subscribe to her. But anyway, so I thought I could copy the roof and it would still keep these little pegs, but it didn't, so I had to place them individually. And then I decided to put these windows on this piece that poked out, and I tried to copy the shape of it to make it look like the pieces that she'd done, because I thought I should add a round piece to my half too. And I thought that this was kind of cool, it overlooked the forest or something. I don't know, I just liked it. And I struggled with these pillars, getting them to stick on the outside of the building so much. I don't know what I was doing incorrectly or what I was missing or why I was having so much problems, but I ended up having to use the Control 9 key to lift it up and get them to stay where I wanted them to. So if you do download this, and the link will be in the description, of course, they may fall and they may not be there, and I don't know. If you know what I'm doing wrong, please write it in the description, because I could not figure it out. I was struggling so bad with it, but it works out in the end, and I get them all there. At least I think so. Maybe I got so frustrated I missed one. I'm not really sure, but I think I got them. But I love how I reflected the two towers like she did on my side of that build. I think it complements it quite well, and I don't know, it's kind of cool because they mirror each other, but they're not so symmetrical. There's a little bit of difference to them. And then I put this little tower right here. I was gonna originally make it another tall tower, but I thought that was a little bit overbearing, so I made it a short tower and put a gargoyle on top of it. And I love those gargoyles so much. They're so cool. I'm gonna say this in every creepy manor, castle, vampire type inspired build that I use them, because I just love them. They're so cool. They're my favorite thing in the entire world. And I watched the trailer for the new Beauty and the Beast movie that's coming out in March, and I'm so excited for that. It looks so good. I've been talking about them making a remake of this for years, for at least 10 years, and I'm so excited they're finally doing that. I can't wait to watch it. But so I want to explain what I'm doing right here. So I think mazes are kind of creepy, so I really wanted to add a maze. It was one of the first things that I thought of when I downloaded her half of the build, and so it may look a little bit weird to you, and I contemplated deleting it several times because of how bright green it is. It kind of stands out a little bit too much, so it may bother you, but I tried to make it look a little bit overgrown. I wish we had a swatch that was a little bit less unkept, like maybe a little bit browner, or the leaves are a little bit fuller or shaggier or something, because I did want a maze there, because I think that'd be kind of cool, like, you know, because this whole house, like the whole theme of it is really dilapidated and it's not been taken care of. So I imagine you used to be able to walk out those back steps. It used to be really, you know, really beautiful staircase, and then, you know, to your left would be, or excuse me, to your right would be a beautiful garden with a beautiful maze, and it's really well taken care of. And then to your left is a beautiful fountain, and it just used to be a really beautiful garden overlooking the back forest. But, you know, something's happened here, as you will see when we get into the interior. Something like crazy happened here, because there are cobwebs and cracks in the walls. It looks like there's been an earthquake, and it looks like somebody's ransacked the place and tore everything apart looking for something or someone. So I don't know, I think really cool story could be told about this place. But, you know, it's obviously being occupied by somebody. As you will see in the Colorful Sims' half, she does a basement that kind of says who is occupying this lot, which, I mean, you could probably guess that it's a vampire, but, or multiple vampires, because of, you know, the new pack and the theme of this. But it's really cool, because I was thinking this as I built, like, maybe the vampires came in and there used to be a family that lived here, and maybe they turned them into vampires, or maybe they, you know, killed them or ran them off, or as they were chasing them out of the house or trying to catch them or whatever, the place kind of got destroyed in the meanwhile. Or maybe this place was abandoned and the vampires have kind of taken out their frustrations on the interior of the house. So I'm really excited to get onto the interior. I think we are only a couple minutes away, so that'll be pretty cool. So here's where I'm using the Control 9 key, and then I end up copying her rooms to hope that the pillars would still be on the outside, because all of her towers had pillars on the outside, and I just had a hard time getting mine to snap into place. So I had to Control 9 them up. So like I said, if they're not there, that's why you download this. But I don't know why I was having so much problems with it. It's really, really frustrating. Oh, and I decided to put a balcony back here, and I think this is really cool. It's one of my favorite parts. So you could also, you know, when this old manor was in its prime, you used to be able to go out on this little back I lost my wording. This little back porch patio. What am I looking for? There's a word that I lost. But anyways, you should be able to go back here and look out on the garden and out to the forest as well. And I was able to use those cool beams. I don't know architectural terms, so if I get all tongue-tied and can't find the word, that's why. It's because I just don't know the words. Because I don't know architectural terms. I only know, like, your basic terms that you see in everyday houses, or that I've learned from, like, the Home and Garden Network channel or something. But I don't know many of them. But I think, okay, so now we're on to the interior. Oh, this is the best part. Okay, so I just am dividing up the space right now, and I kind of wrote down the rooms that I wanted. So she included most of, like, your essential rooms. So I was thinking, what would a large manor like this have? And so I thought, like, a library parlor area, like a very large living room, and then I also added a couple more bedrooms upstairs, because once I got, like, she had 2 bedrooms already, so I thought I'd add a couple more bedrooms. And then if you decided to do something else with the bedrooms, I don't know, I'll explain it when I get upstairs. So I'm just dividing up the space, and then I copy some of the flooring that she uses just to kind of make it all blend a little bit better together, and then I use some of the wallpapers, and then use some of my, decide to use some of my own. And this looks, I just want it to get started. I want to get into the decorating, and it's taking so long. Okay, so I use a lot of the new flooring and wallpaper, and it just looks so cool. But I decided to make this like a parlor room, this room right here, and then the room off to the right of it is going to be like a library, but they kind of all blend together, so it's made for some really cool screenshots. So as you can see, everything's going to be a little bit crooked, like somebody has gone through and tore everything apart, whether they are looking for something, taking out frustration, or trying to catch somebody. Things have been knocked around. So you'll see that in every single room. And I had this was like the best part of downloading her build, like not only like to see the structure of the build, which is really cool, but also to see how she placed everything and made it look as if somebody had just knocked everything around. Like usually everything in The Sims, even when you're trying to make it look like worn and dilapidated and make it look messy, it never looks that messy. But this build to me looks messy. Like she did such an amazing job, and I had so much fun copying her like technique and learning new things. And so it was so much fun, like making things look a little bit crooked, because I wish we could actually tip things over. That would have made it even better. But just, it was so cool. And I used a lot of debug items right there. I was just trying to copy some debug items, but it wouldn't let me, so I had to actually type in the show hidden objects. So I use some empty glasses and some busted up pieces of wood that like you would get when you, I think, use the woodworking bench, and things like don't come out right. It's just like the pieces of wood that come from that. So this is, I think it looks pretty cool. So hopefully you guys like that, because it's covered in cobwebs, and like, you know, the outside grasses and ferns have made their way inside, and it's really cool. I made sure to put cobwebs on all the chandeliers, and oh, it's so cool. I was having so much fun with this pack. I think this is probably one of my favorites. Like, I really enjoyed Spa Day a lot, and I still use a lot of items from there, and I use a lot from Dine Out as well. And I think even Outdoor Retreat, like all the game packs are just so useful, and they make so many different types of builds, like, you know, easily to create, and there's so much fun. But so this is the library area, and I thought about making its own separate room, but I thought it was kind of cool that it was connected to the parlor, and maybe it used to have some curtains, or maybe it used to have doors, and some of the broken pieces of wood are the remnants of the doors. Who knows? I mean, and this type of build, like, your imagination is the only thing that limits you, because there are so many things that you could think of, or so many different characters that you could create to live in this build, because that's really what I like to do when I build things. Like, I always move a sim into a house that I create, and I always, like, whether I create them beforehand or create them after, I always move one in, and I'm always thinking about who lives in this house, because it makes it more fun for me, and it also makes it more interesting for me while I'm building, because I think otherwise I would just always, I think it would make me be a little bit less creative. I don't know if I could say if that's the truth or not, but I think it would. And I tried to make it look like there had been some mail that's strung about. Maybe somebody was looking for a particular letter or a note or something. I don't know. And okay, so when I first downloaded this and saw how messy everything was, I'm like, oh, how cool would it be to make a library where the books are all over the floor? And the Colourful Sims did the same thing in one of the bookcases. So I'm like, oh, she had the same idea. That's so cool. So I did that. Like, every bookcase that I put in, you know, anywhere in this house, I made sure that it had the just books strung out all over the floor, just in the mess and in the rubble. It was so much fun to make something this messy, and I'm so happy that she came up with the idea to make something just so messy. It's so cool. It's such a fun build. So I think you guys should give this a shot. Give this a shot if you enjoy building, to see how messy and ransacked you can make a place look. It's really cool. I just had so much fun. I know I'm probably so annoying saying how much fun I had doing this, but I really did. It's cool. And I even was like bugging my husband. I was like, hey, look at this, look at how messy it looks. And so he's like, cool, it looks pretty neat. And Colourful Sims did a really cool thing where she took that piece of rug that clips together and made it kind of off-centered at one of the pieces where it looks like it's been torn or something, or it's been ripped or something. Oh, okay, and right here I struggled trying to get this wall decal to sit over the picture, because she got it to work and I could not figure out how she did it. So when I get a chance to watch her first half of the build, which I will as soon as mine's up, because I think they're going to be up about the same time, that's something I'm going to be particularly looking for, is how she did that, because I could not figure it out. I tried copying the exact pieces that she used, and I don't know. So how did you do that? I don't get it. It was a really cool thing, because it made it look like the picture had been burnt or scratched or carved out, or it's just old or something, or it got wet. I don't know what happened to it, but it looks really cool. And yeah, so I just tried to copy that, and I don't get how she did it. And I tried to make the hallway look pretty cluttered. And what's cool about making a house this messy, like for any mortal sim, it would be like impossible for them to get anywhere in this place, because I'm sure everything is just, you know, blocking their space that they can walk through. But with vampires, since they have different powers, and they can like transport to different locations, like as a bat or as mist and stuff, they can move around in this a lot easily. They can get into the basement, even though the staircase is in a peculiar place, and it's hard to get to. A mortal sim can't get to it, so it's a perfect place for a vampire to live, because they can get to places where mortal sims cannot. And so I made a hole in this living room. So I don't know what happened here, but something really bad happened here. And some of the furniture has even fallen down into the hole, and there's a tree growing out of there, and there's some old branches and all kinds of stuff down in there. And it looks like that chair is about to fall down in there as well, which I thought was kind of cool. And I put a lamp down there. The lamp fell in. And yeah, so this is like the main living room of the house. And I did a cool thing with these curtains, and I get to it in just a moment. I'm trying to figure that out right now, and I was struggling, but I ended up sizing these up and then putting these curtains underneath of it, and I thought that was kind of a cool look. So I ended up doing that upstairs as well, and it just, yeah, it looks pretty cool. And yeah, so it's kind of repetitive, because every room is just me pulling out like the same broken pieces and whatnot, and trying to make it look as messy as possible. So if I repeat myself in trying to describe what I'm doing, that is why. But yeah, so I hope you're all enjoying this pack as much as I am, or, you know, I've even seen some people say that they're considering getting it now because of things that they've seen people build with it. And I've also seen a mod, because this is something I was concerned about, like doing gameplay and having vampires roam around, because I like a little bit more realistic gameplay, and I wasn't too into having just vampires roam around the entire, you know, like New Crest and like Oasis Springs and Willow Creek and stuff. But there's actually a mod. I haven't tried it out yet, because my game's rather glitchy during normal gameplay anyway, so I haven't played too much. But there's a mod that keeps all the vampires only in Forgotten Hollows, so I think that's pretty cool, and I'm gonna put that into my game and try to see how it works. So if you've already had that and it works for you, you should let me know in the comments, because I haven't put it into my game yet. But I think that's pretty cool, because then it's like, oh, there's like a creepy like land that you could travel to that's like there's all these monsters, because like I think your Sims can also debate the existence of vampires, so it's kind of like with them not being able to travel to the other worlds, it's kind of like their debate makes more sense to me anyways. I don't know, I always do that to myself though. I try to make it all realistic, and I don't know, it's a Sims, it's not realistic, it's okay. But so this is one of the bathrooms I do put 2 more upstairs, and you guessed it, I forgot another toilet. I do catch it during the build though, when I go upstairs and put a toilet in the upstairs bathroom. I'm like, oh yeah, the downstairs bathroom never got a toilet. So yeah, I do put one in here, but just not right now. I come back to it later. I don't know why. And Penapple pointed out the funniest thing. She's like, I like how you remember the toilet paper, but not the toilet. I thought that was pretty funny. So if you're watching this, I laughed. I like literally laughed out loud when I read your comment. That was so funny. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. So I decided to put a children's bedroom in here, and this is one of the creepiest rooms to me, because there's like the toys, and when I was taking screenshots, it's a little bit eerie and kind of creepy, and I don't know. like kind of sad at the same time. So it's kind of cool because there wasn't a children's room in here yet, but I imagine in such a large home, children had to live here at some point, right? So I put just a teddy bear in the dollhouse, and you know, I tried to keep with like old school items because this isn't a modern home, and I don't think there's any real lights in there, like, except for the lampshades that have like the dangling tassels that came with this pack. I think those are the only real lights other than like candles I used. And I put a desk in the toy chest, and I think the kid could actually play in here. I don't think any of the objects would really be in their way. Maybe some of the broken pieces of wood that I sized up, they might have trouble walking around or getting to their beds, but this would actually be a fun build to fix up, like, and rehabilitate it into his former glory. That would be kind of cool. So if anybody does that, you know, tag me and the Colourful Sims on Twitter so we can see what you came up with, because I really do enjoy that when people use my builds for their gameplay or, you know, do things to it. It's cool to see how they what they change and what they come up with. Is pretty cool. Because like I had a comment, my first vampire build has been downloaded quite a bit on the gallery, and it's my first one that's actually been downloaded a lot. And somebody pointed out to me that somebody was re-uploading it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird that they would upload it. But they, you know, they were remodeling it. It was kind of like their stages of remodeling, so that's totally fine. That does not offend me. Like please don't like upload my build and be like, oh, look what I made, because like the gallery, I think, still gives credit to the original creator. Like if you download somebody's build and you change things, it still says original from, you know, SimLicy, from whoever. So that's fine with me. And so if you're the one that pointed that out, it's a-okay. They can remodel it. So this is the like hallway bathroom, and I was just looking to see what she had used like wallpaper. So I decided to change the wallpaper into match the ones that she used, so they kind of blended together a little bit more. And then this is where I was thinking of what to do with this room. So I think this room could be changed to be whatever, because I thought about adding like kind of like a ballroom or party room, but I thought that was kind of an odd placement to do for this for this room, because it's like down the hallway and right next to the kids' room. So if you're throwing a party, it'd be like right next to where the kids are sleeping. So it just didn't make sense to me. But one of the rooms that she made, it could easily pass for a master bedroom. It has a really big bed and it has a vanity and stuff like that. So if you wanted to use this room for something else, it doesn't necessarily have to be the master bedroom, because I think that that's what her room was supposed to be or could be. But I thought that would just be another wing of bedrooms, and then this would be like the parents' bedroom next to the children, is what I was thinking. So I made it a little bit more grand with like a walk-in closet and its own ensuite bathroom and like a fireplace and a big chandelier, like just a more grand manor master suite is what I was going for in this room. And I think it turned out really cool. It looks like somebody just ripped the hell out of it. Like all the furniture is just strung about. There's lamps on the floor. There's holes and cracks. And I mean, of course, all of this build is really torn apart, but I think this room in particular looks really cool to me. And I put the dressers in the walk-in closet. It looks like some of the clothes fell out of it. And I tried pulling out some of the debug shoes, but they kept disappearing. So that's a shame. Too bad we don't have any shoe clutter that's just like on the floor loosely. That would be cool. You know what would just make my day is if we had a full-on clutter pack. Like no gameplay, no nothing, just clutter items. Like just things that would actually fit on shelves would be nice. Just shelf items and cleaning items and just clutter items. Like just full-on clutter pack would just be so cool, because there's so many custom content build items, and I don't want to use any of it. I like to stick to just what's in the game, and it's just like I've gone way too overboard with create a sim custom content. I'm not going to do that with my builds, because that's really what I enjoy, is building and sharing it with people, and it makes it too difficult. Like the only thing I'll use is like the seasons mod, just because it makes things look cooler at Christmas time when you're building things, but I upload them without it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I don't know, I just want more clutter. I want more everything, though. I think everybody enjoys building, because you just want more and more, because it's all so much fun, and once you're having a little bit of fun, you want to have more fun, right? But anyways, so yeah, I'm just pulling out the shoes right now, or trying to, is what I found the shoe, but it disappeared. So, oh well. And then this is the hallway, and then we're about it. I decorate the balcony, and yeah, so I tried to make the rug look like it's curved a little bit, but I decided that wasn't gonna look exactly how I wanted to. So yeah, I hope you guys like this. This was so much fun, and thank you, Dana, for doing this with me. Like, it was such a fun collaboration, and I really, really enjoyed it. And if you ever want to collab again, please let me know, because I think you were just one of the nicest people I ever listened to on YouTube, because your voice is so sweet and you sound like a really kind person. So yeah, not to sound all mushy and weird or anything, but which it kind of does. But yeah, so I've just enjoyed your channel, and I've had a lot of fun collabing with you. Now I've embarrassed myself completely, so maybe I should cut it off here. But yeah, so if you would like to download this, the link's in the description, and please go check out her half of the build. But yeah, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have. Alright, bye!